This morning at approximately 10:30, our officers received a call regarding a female who had been assaulted in the driveway of her residence. Our officers arrived on scene and learned that a female had come home from grocery shopping. As she was unloading her groceries from her vehicle, an unknown male subject came up to her and began assaulting her. At first, it was just with his hands and fists, but at some point he gathered some kind of a weapon, we believe it was a metal pipe, and began assaulting her. Now fortunately, she doesn't have any serious injuries, and our officers were able to contact her and make sure she's okay. What we learned is during the assault, the female screamed for help, and there were some family members home inside of her residence. They rushed out of the home, and they intervened and prevented the suspect from continuing this assault upon her. At one point, they even wrestled the subject to the ground. The subject became irritated. He actually threatened the family members with a firearm, although no firearms were seen. He then got up and ran to a nearby residence and barricaded himself inside. Now, we've talked to that homeowner who has been evacuated from the home, and we learned that this person may be an associate related to that residence. We don't have him in custody yet, so we don't have a positive identification on him, but that could possibly explain why he was in the neighborhood. Now, we don't know of any relationship between this male suspect and the female who was coming home from grocery shopping, and we're working to learn those things. Because of the nature of the incident and that this person is now barricaded, our officers formed a perimeter, and they immediately called the North County SWAT team, who has responded. So the SWAT team is handling the barricaded incident, and our detectives are on scene, and they're handling the investigation into the assault.
Your hands in the air, walk towards me. Face away from the kid. Walking towards me. Walking, keep your hands in the air. Backwards, walk straight backwards. Stop. Down to your knees. All the way down your stomach. Stay up like that.
He hit her in the face with his arm. Well, she was getting out of her van to go into the back of her van to get something or put something in there, and he came up and she was like, "Can I help you?" And he started walking faster at her, and I guess choked her and started hitting her with her arm like that, or his arm. And I guess one of them just hit her and threw her into the van.
What made you come out?
My mom screaming for her name, sounded like bloody murder, like she was, being attacked. So ran out, saw what was happening. The guy was around by her, and so obviously I knew she was attacked, and I wasn't going to have it.
Yeah, describe what you saw when you came out.
My mom was in the back of her van, laying there, or not laying, but like kind of laying on the cooler in the back, with her feet kind of off the ground, like she had just been tossed and hit into the back of the van.
And then you just you went after the guy?
Oh, I went after the guy to get him away, and then he tried to swing at him, so I swung first, and I won.
And then he took off.
Oh, he never got to the ground. He kept struggling, and he kept trying to fight, so he kept fighting, and then I ripped his shirt. He took his shirt off, and then ran back to his house, or the house, and I was like, all right, so I kept walking, make sure he wasn't going to run away. Then he starts coming out with a hammer and a brick. He didn't go in the house, he just got it from the front, and he came out with a hammer and a brick, and so I started backing up, looked to the right, and I saw a pipe clamp in my neighbor's yard, so I grabbed it. So I'm standing there in the middle of the street with a pipe clamp, hoping he doesn't attack me anymore and I don't have to use it. So we sit there talking a bunch of crap. He's saying he just saved me and my brother from that guy, pointing at my mom. And then he said he's God. So obviously, he's on some drugs. Never talked to him, never cared to talk to anybody at that house. It's a known meth house. Or not meth house, but like tweakers live there. So it's, no, we don't like them.